introducing fast chargers. So how many emissions will you save by 2030 with those 10,000 EV fast chargers?
So there's not a significant emissions reduction, about 0.1 megatonne for the EV charging network.
0.01?
0.1. But, that isn't a significant aspect, but it's a key enabler in terms of range anxiety that we have and are aware of. Let's be clear, the subsidy that was being given out of around $7,000 to $8,000 for people to buy, EV vehicles was a significant cost of abatement, and we're taking a low-cost approach in terms of that. We are seeing that actually EV sales, and I had to look at the data this morning, is starting to increase.
So what are the EV sales?
So I think at the moment, the latest data that I had from officials was around 8.9% sales increase.
So their highest point, what were their highest point under the previous one?
I haven't got that number right.
Almost 20%.
Right.
And so in the first 3 months of this year, I think sales of EVs slumped 75% compared to last year in New Zealand. So less than 1 in 20 new cars in March registered in New Zealand was an EV.
Well, let's be clear.
So you tank that market over
Well, let's be clear. Also, when people are facing a deficit and a cost of living crisis, buying a car isn't the big priority for a household budget. And so there's a number of factors at play here. But what we can see is that EV sales in the first 6 months of this year is increasing.
If you couldn't afford a phone or a computer, like a laptop, would you care if I gave you free Wi-Fi?
Well, I don't necessarily see that. The reality is, in that example, a lot of Kiwis have got those assets.
Would you care? So what you're saying is you are incentivising people who've already been able to take advantage of the clean car discount to now have easier charging as well.
It's interesting when you talk with other ministers.
Why are you investing in people who've already benefited from that?
Well, one of the challenges that is highlighted is that people have challenges around range anxiety with EV vehicles, i.e. they have the inability to charge their vehicles is an issue for them when they're considering
I understand range anxiety, but these people already have vehicles. They already benefited from several $1,000s in subsidies under the previous government, and now you're giving them fast charging as well.
When someone is considering buying an EV vehicle today, if one of their issues and concerns is around not an inability to charge, knowing that this government is investing in that charging network between now and 2030 is a positive. And by the way, we're not the only government in the world looking at this.
No, but you were looking to offset the clean car discount in some way at the very least. So not completely, but with this policy.
But we can talk about a number of other...
I noticed that 80% of people charge their EVs at home the majority of the time, according to the EECA. And so that's who we're choosing to invest in.